Good morning. Word of Truth channel with JD Nija, Jeff Deloach. Oh, hold on. That's good. Good morning. October 25th, 2025. Heavenly Father, bless my brothers and sisters who are here today. Give us a deeper understanding of the little season where Satan's released. We want to know. We want to know what time we're in. We deserve to know so that we can follow you and trust in you. We love you, honor you, praise you. Amen. So, are we in that little season where Satan's been released? Let me read it. It's Revelation. It's been the talk of the internet recently. Is the are we in that little season where Satan's been released? It says, and he laid hold of the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal on him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. And then it goes into the confusion about who's who and what's what. If the millennium went by already, like a lot of people are starting to realize, it probably did. It probably already went by, and we're in that little season right now where Satan is deceiving the world and wants to fight with Jesus. He's doing his best to deceive people into taking the mark, into turning their back on God. He's deceiving the nations. And we look back, there's a certain history that went on between the 1600 to all the way up to the 1900s. There was about 400 years where we seen a big change from these Gothic cathedrals, these beautiful structures, these huge monolithic structures that we couldn't build today. And what we've seen since the start of the 18th century is nothing but destruction. That's why they call them the Freemasons. Because these masons, these brick builders, they would tear these buildings down, or they would refurnish them so that they looked like we could have made them. They covered up the stuff they didn't want you to see. A lot of what was here during the millennium, if it's true that the millennium passed, and it looks like probably it did, because we have a lot of tales about the World's Fairs where they had these amazing structures and other amazing technological things that people were like, oh, I didn't know about that. Wow, that's interesting. There was a huge one in St. Louis. There was one up here in Seattle. There was one where were these? They've scrubbed that from our history. Where were these world fairs at? Louisiana had one. New York. They had these huge fairs to make people think that we built it. What was probably going on during the millennium is angelic beings were building these structures. And so there's a couple channels. I noticed my video on the little season got 106 views, which for me is like going viral. But there's a couple channels I'm kind of looking for some other ones because I've pretty much investigated both of these channels. Jason Jack, just like it's spelled, Jason Jack is one channel, and then the other channel is Leaving Babylon. Leaving Babylon is a woman, and Jason Jack is a dude. And there's a lot of really interesting research that they did, especially Leaving Babylon. This woman pulled up a lot of archived pictures and things of that nature. And, you know, I would go into it, but I don't want to just talk about what she does, because if you really are interested, you need to sit with her and listen and watch. It's fascinating. They believe, or we believe, I've heard this before, that the North Pole was where the Lord reigned from. So if you realize that we're on a flat plane, we're not on a globe. If you still think we're on a globe, go somewhere else, because you're too far behind to understand anything. You're in the system. Dinosaurs, that kind of shit. No, man. Stay, keep your boots on the ground. Flat plane, compass points north. Every compass points north, because that's where the power is. That's where the millennial kingdom, that's where Jesus' throne was when he was here. It wasn't the same. When Satan got loosed, he brought a cold wind. And it froze up there. It might not even be frozen for all we know. These devils aren't telling us everything. So it's hard for us to know exactly what's going on at the North Pole. You have to have flight requirements it's all military up there. So anyway, and then it says, so what happened? I'm trying to figure this out. I'm reading through it, and it's really interesting because it jumps back and forth, and it says the dead lived, and then the dead didn't live until the second resurrection. And what I think happened, and there's proof of this too, that while they were destroying Dresden, Germany, and they were destroying the cathedrals in Belgium, and they were destroying the monolithic structures in Mexico, and they were burning down the structures in Oklahoma. They were burning them down in San Francisco. The San Francisco fire of 1911. They had to burn it down. That's why we celebrate. That's why we celebrate 4th of July. 4th of July, they're celebrating burning down everything. I never enjoyed 4th of July. I never have. I've always known something else was going on. 4th of July is about the devil coming out of the prison and them burning down the millennial kingdom, everything that Jesus had built. That's why everyone gets all excited about fire and lights everything on fire. It's all about freedom. What's freedom? Freedom from being ruled by any kind of morals. There's no morals or ethics in this fucking little season we're in. It's brutal. Everybody is out for themselves. Everyone's lying, cheating, grifting, stealing. No one's honest with each other. The lies are just flying everywhere. And we see in our country, I don't know what's going on, but man, they're ripping down our government. Tearing down the White House. Tearing down the White House. No respect. No respect. That's what these people do. They're in that mode now. They're like, man, it's getting close to the fight. The big fight's coming. We gotta get these people all screwed up. Let's just tear it down. Just tear it down. Freak them out. Freak everyone out. Just tear everything they know to pieces. It's in their spirit. They're wicked. So if you're on this channel and you're listening to me, just know that I'm with God. No doubts about it. I don't know how to be a thief. I feel bad when I hurt someone's feelings. I like things to stay the same. I don't like change. If it was up to me, we'd go back to the early 80s and just stay there. No internet. The internet, as soon as they got the net, the web, we're in the web now. They're loving it. They're like, we got these fuckers. They do. They got us. Here we are. We're on their platform. Talking about them on their platform. They're going, these idiots. They're laughing at us. And then they're throwing all this information out. Just totally confusing everything. So let me read the next page out. The part about the first resurrection and the thrones and all that, that's hard to really to understand. What are we doing here? We're like in the tribulation. The saints that are here now, people like you and me that love God, we're behind enemy lines. We're behind enemy lines. That's why it feels so fucking weird. I've been through a lot. They know who I am. They don't even worry about me because they know I'm not going to. This is all I can do. I'm not going to put my neck out there yet. It's not time. I will fight. They know I'm going to fight at the end. But it's too early to start going, yeah, I'm going to run for congressman because we're going to fix this. It's not fixable at this point, people. Joe Biden, they're biding their time. Joe Biden their time. He was just a placeholder so that they could set everything up. That's why it seems so calm and lopey. They're like, Sleepy Joe, go to sleep, everyone. Sleepy Joe's in charge. Just take a nice nap. We'll wake you up when it's time. And now we're awake, and it's like, oh, fuck me. They hit the ground running. They knew exactly what they were going to do. Look at it, it's only been 7-8 months, and this fucker has turned everything upside down. So it says, there's demons here, and then there's saints here. It's a war. But the rest of the dead lived not until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. So what I'm thinking is, there's two possibilities. They say the dead is the unbelievers. I don't necessarily look at it that way. It could be that the dead, the unbelievers, when Satan got released, the unbelievers, that's why we've seen such an explosion in population. Because all these devils are coming back to life. People think the fallen angels are given technology. No, it's those wicked unbelievers. The tech billionaires and these people, they're like, you're one of mine, right? And they're like, yeah, I am. Do you hate everyone? Yeah, I do. I hate everyone. Good. Come here. I'm going to make you a king over my wicked kingdom. They all know each other. They know each other, and they know who we are too. Because if you don't have anything, if you're poor, if you're a normal, everyday, 98% of the people, a lot of you are good people. But these devils, man, they came back to life. When Satan came back, they came back. I think mostly so that we can witness who they are. We're here to go, there's one. We're witnessing it. We're seeing it with our own eyes. We're in the shithole looking at all the fucking disgusting demons running this place. The rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. The study Bible says the dead are the unbelievers. The other possibility, I think, is all the dead, the prophets, the kings, the priests of Judah, Benjamin, the Israelites, all the other kingdoms. We're being born again. Born again. That's why they use that term, born again. It's time to be born. Are you born again? Makes me wonder, is that good or bad? That what are they deceiving us with? We don't know. It could go deeper than. See, that's where I'm not buying what the book tells me. I'm looking at the text going, is the dead the unbelievers, or is the dead just the ones that died? There might not have been people being born during the millennial kingdom. These people might have been living really long because of the energy, the power. People might have been living 300 years, 200 years, and then died. And so what happens is when Satan gets released, a lot of these people are being born again that died in the first 200 years of the 1,000. And they don't remember. There was probably only a few people that went from millennial to Satan's little season. And these people right away were getting killed, were being taken out of certain areas and put in other areas, put in prisons. We know that during that 1776, they're saying, somewhere around 1750 or 1770 is when they released Satan. And that's when they brought the Statue of Liberty over here. That fucking demonic statue from France. We're free, liberty, we have liberty. Let's do what we want now. The Statue of Liberty has chains that are broken on the feet, representing Satan's been freed. The chain has been broken. And he laid hold of the dragon and bound him 1,000 years. Bound him with what? Bound him with chains. But we know, what I was going to say is we know that there was a lot of people that they put in institutions. That's when they had mass psychosis and these orphan trains. They would take the children from the parents so that the parents couldn't tell the children, it wasn't like this before. This must be the little season because everything was beautiful 100 years ago. So they've burned up all the books. Remember, they burned the books. The Vatican. Watch out, you Catholics. The Vatican took a lot of that information and stored it. Destroyed a lot of it. A lot of the history's been destroyed so that we don't know that the millennium already went past. They separated the children. They put them on these orphan trains. When Satan came out, there was probably the mud flood. That's why everything got all fucked up. There was probably a huge earthquake / liquefaction of everything. Probably a lot of people died just from the earth shaking and the mud flooding. So these institutions, they put the people that were going, wait, it used to be so beautiful. What happened? Let me tell you, God was here. God was he was up there in the north, and he had this energy, and it was coming everywhere, and we were nice and warm and safe, and it was good. And they're going, this person's crazy. Listen to what he's saying. So anyone that was talking about God, that's why they don't really like us. They didn't teach us the right thing. They're not teaching us what we need to know. They're teaching us what they want us to know. Rapture, Trinity, dispensation, whatever silly stuff they're thinking of. They just don't want you to think of where do we come from? What's the Bible say? No one's talked about this. Maybe the millennial kingdom already went by. I never heard anyone saying that. Maybe the millennial. As your pastor, I got to put this out to you, is what a good pastor would say. They don't teach us this in seminary, but they say it's still coming, but what if it already came? What if it's already passed? We got to know these things. Keep your eyes open. It seems like there's devils around here. I'll be back. I want to talk a little bit more about it. It's a great subject. It makes a lot of sense. JD Nigel, Word of Truth. I love you guys. Subscribe. I'll try and talk about these things more if you guys like it. I'm pretty interested, but it only goes so far, then it comes down to your own faith. I'm out.